Where is your center of focus on a week where we have a lot of rhetoric and, frankly, a lot of concerns about voter enthusiasm given those double haters?
Oh, other than Inside Out too, I think I think what'll happen is you'll get a ramp up to the June 27th debate over the next couple of weeks because there won't be much going on in politics, and everybody will wrap themselves into a tizzy about this stuff. But it actually is consequential in a lot of ways because, as you were pointing out before, and it's one of my analysis points as well, Biden's got to show pretty much every day between now and November that he's up to the job and that he's kind of the saner, calmer alternative to Trump. That's the frame of the election to me, because then more people are likely to pull the lever for Biden, go the next yard if they get there. If they can't get there, then this election gets upended.
How difficult is that when people's frame of reference is already that they're concerned about his age? Our reporting from the G7 over the weekend was how other delegations were keeping a careful eye on Biden. They say he was very cogent when he jumped in on conversation about Ukraine. This is one source, but then looked a little bit to be zoning out when the conversation moved on. If that is already the base case, how much work does this administration really need to do?
Well, they need to do a lot of work to continue to show and have him show that he's up to the job. They can't do it for him. But a lot of these clips over the past week or so, as you were talking about earlier, are concerning. They're going to need to dissipate that, and Biden's going to have to be on his toes, not just because he's talking to an audience that's a huge audience in the United States and around the world, but also he's on stage with his major competitor, who's going to do everything possible to try to discombobulate him. It is. I think he's up to the challenge, but there's a bar there that's not insubstantial.
You still think Biden is going to win this election? You do, right, when you talk about trying to define this election. Trump has his own issues as well. What is going to be his biggest test at this debate?
Well, I think that his biggest test is going to be, frankly, not going off the rails and coming in too hot. The joke around Washington last week while you were eating gelato was that, Trump comes to Washington and all of a sudden he's sounding reasonable in meetings with business leaders and with House Republicans. And, where did they put the other Trump guy? Trump's major problems are twofold. The Republican Party is split, as you can see from the Haley votes in the primaries, and Trump courting Haley, which legitimizes my point, and that he's not doing that great against or with independents. He needs to do both: consolidate the Republican Party, appeal to more independents in order to have a good chance to win. So he's going to have to calibrate himself in that way and not worry too much about making Biden jumpy or feel worse.